Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of your not so daily debunk. That's right, welcome. Now form an orderly line because today is wingers. It's winger, chicken dinner. That's what we're discussing today, chit-chatting about in the Chelsea community is wingers, okay? And there's been a link. The two Christians have combined for a story today, okay? Christian Folk putting Christian Pulisic with his ex-manager, ex-relationship prior engagement, Jurgen Klopp, okay, at Liverpool. And it's an easy connection to make. Mane's leaving, you know, he's already confirmed his exit. He has confirmed his official communications that he is looking for pastures new. So, of course, for the winger slash striker over the last 18 months, we could obviously make the connection that another winger in Christian Pulisic, who Liverpool have had a long-standing interest in since his Dortmund days, and obviously former coach Jurgen Klopp has worked with him, would potentially go to Liverpool. Now, for me personally, I don't see that happening. I do think Nunez or Nkuku or potentially even Gnabry, you know, one of these names could be higher up Liverpool's list in terms of getting that deal done. It's probably easier to negotiate with a team that is not in league. You know, Chelsea are Liverpool's direct competitors in the league, or at least they should be. And to sell an asset for me, not only off the pitch, but on the pitch still has potential, which is why I would be fine and happy for him to stay next season. You know my thoughts in terms of who I would get rid of in that attack. So for me personally, we have not fully unlocked the Christian Pulisic situation in terms of what he can do for us on the pitch. I think we still have some untapped potential. Now, first of all, I look back to some of his best performances, not only for us, but for the US against Morocco, playing in a 4-3-3, Pulisic off the left. Lampard, lockdown season, you know, playoff Pulisic season, again, 4-3-3, Pulisic off the left. For me, he is a winger. We don't currently play with wingers. Now, we do play with inside 10s to potentially facilitate the likes of Havertz, Mason Mount, Timo Werner, who is not a winger, but we don't play with wingers. And now we discussed the wingers in this episode with Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic. I do believe these players will be better from the wide positions. Now, have they been consistent regardless? Probably not, even when they are out wide, but at least you would be playing them in their natural position. Now, I can understand definitely why Liverpool be looking at him. You know, he does fit into that 4-3-3 that they play, the gegenpress system. Will he be able to be that intense, you know, pressing from the front, maybe one every 2 games? You know, he does have had struggles with injuries, and that's where their deep diving analytical team will look at the situation with his previous injuries over the last 2 years and think to themselves, can he handle that intensity from the press from the front? They have Diaz also. So is Pulisic going to Liverpool? Is he really going to get that added on game time that he was looking for to go and make that you know, World Cup squad for the US and really, you know, lead them to qualifying out of the group stages? You got that direct competition from Diaz, who's hungry, who's just joined the league, who's been in form. You're playing in that left wing position also. You're competing for that position. Are you really going to get more game time? Is it definitely a better situation? Now, obviously, Klopp, yes, but you've also worked with Tuchel. And for me, like I said, I believe there's something more to come from this player. He's shown me glimpses of pretty much almost everything I look for in a winger. You know, he's shown us that he can shoot. You know, he's had some well-taken goals. Now, obviously, recency bias will make you think his shooting is absolutely horrendous, but that is not the case. It's just been poor finishing recently, criticised in isolation. That's poor, 100%, but that doesn't mean for me he can't shoot. I've seen him shoot before. Maybe a lack of confidence recently, I don't know. Also, dribbling. We know he can go around players. How many times do we say we need more dribblers in this team? He's probably the only person we see actually in our forward line going past players and dribbling past players. We don't really, in my opinion, don't think we should really be getting rid of dribblers. We should be adding dribblers to the team to go past more players. And also, he's shown even glimpses of awareness. You know, in both the cup finals, he was pretty good with his, you know, decision making in terms of setting up chances for others. It's just the finishing that really did let him down. He shows moments, like I said, for the US against Morocco, good decision making. He shows it. At least for me, he's technically, you know, comfortable. He's technically assured. I don't like forwards that are not technically assured, that are not technically comfortable. You know, we've got forwards that, you know, the ball bounces off them like a trampoline. We've got forwards that the last time they've dribbled was when they was a baby. We've got forwards that are not technically complete, that definitely need a lot of service, that are not able to go past players, are not good with close control, are not good with their first touch. Pulisic for me is not one of those players, which is why I still have faith, and he is young, but he is getting into that middle part of his 20s, so he's going to have to kick on definitely next year if he is to stay. But I do think that for me, if I see a player where there is something there and we haven't fully unlocked it, I'm one of them people that want to fully unlock that. You know, I want us to find what we're missing out on before somebody else does. And I think there is something there with Christian Pulisic. Now, for me personally, like I said, I don't think he'd go to Liverpool for the sheer fact that it is direct competition. Also, why would Todd Boehly and his American new ownership now get rid of their American prize asset and star boy and send him to another American ownership in FSG and Henry and let them make the money in the US with the marketing and the shirt sales? Like, even from a financial standpoint, especially with a contract that's running out in 2024, 150k a week, it's not like as if he's making 270 or 325. It's not like as if he, you know, is killing the wage structure. 100% not. And it's also not like as if his contract is running out next year, where this is an immediate situation that we have to resolve. Now, he may be a little bit unsettled. He may not be completely comfortable, but I do think that he can be resurrected. He can be resurrected, right? This is not over. I don't think this is done. And for me, I've seen prior commitment from Pulisic, even under Lampard when he came back for pre-season early. If you guys remember that, you know, he's shown for me that he is committed. I haven't seen any attitude issues. I haven't seen any problems on the pitch in terms of lack of commitment. It, for me, comes down to confidence and also needs to be used better. Also needs to stay clear of injuries, which is what he had earlier on in the season that made him miss a chunk. And then actually get your head down and put in some consistent performances. Now, in saying all of that, I would still want another left winger to come in, a new one, so we're not constantly completely relying on Pulisic to do the business next year. You are coming into your, you know, what, third or fourth season now? You know, well, Lampard, yeah, third full season, I believe. You know, well, actually fourth. Bomber hole. Fourth season. Okay, it's fine. We give you time. But this is your fourth full season. So I'm going to definitely need a new starting or a new left winger option over there to keep you on your toes and keep you competitive. Same with the right hand side with Hakim Ziyech, if we was to go to a 4 at the back and play with actual wingers for these wingers. Now, for me, you know, if I continue to talk about the wingers, also we know Dembélé, you know, that's been reported by CFC News page / Nathan, also some other reports coming out prior, that there are unofficial communications happening between Chelsea, Tuchel, Dembélé. So it looks like we're getting there. Hopefully next week we'll see something officially concrete and done. And it looks like, you know, I mean, he's both footed, so he could play on the right, he could play on the left. You know, that's fantastic. He's flexible. You know my concerns with his injury issues prior, although he hasn't been injured in a while. But for me, I need a 2-year span of no injuries, no big injuries for me to be like, okay, cool. Now there's added on games. There's more people on the bench, 5 subs, so this does help. But I am a little bit concerned next season with potentially, you know, the likes of Pulisic, Dembélé, Ziyech. You know, if they're all at the club, those injury concerns when you've got so many games being played. We've seen the Nations League people pulling up more games. Yes, there's more people coming off the bench, but there's nobody to rely upon in terms of consistent fitness. Dare I say it, there is no Willian. There is no availability is your ability. There is no player that is constantly here. Come rain, come shine, come storm, come thunder. The man is ready to rumble, okay? And we've had that with Aspilicueta. We've had that with Willian, dare I say it, Alonso. Certain players don't get injured. For me, this is still a very techie winger department in terms of fitness, but I digress. Now, for me, if you are keeping Pulisic, for me, you loan out Hudson-Odoi. I wouldn't have them competing again on this left wing spot. I've seen it year after year. And as much as I do like Hudson-Odoi, and you guys know, you know, I mean, who created 1v1 Demon and gets mocked for it? It was me. You know, I still believe in this lad's ability, but I do also think that he needs to be playing games now. It's time to go and play games, potentially get out of your comfort zone, leave the school of Cobham, leave, you know, the home that is Chelsea, and go abroad, you know, even overseas, and potentially put yourself under that pressure to start week in, week out, and to deliver the goods, regardless of if you have a bad game, one, you know, time, bang, you're in the 11 again next week. Whereas at Chelsea, it's a very competitive environment. It's you deliver or you die, really. Do you know what I'm saying? Not literally, but literally, if you are, I mean, he had a decent span earlier in the season, about 6 games, and then he has a bad game against Man United, he's straight out the team. That's probably not what he needs. And also, for me, like I said, if I'm getting rid of the likes of a Lukaku, and it looks like as if he would like to leave too, and obviously a Timo Werner, who are obviously costing us a lot more money, and also large chunks of our attack in terms of, you know, if you're going to cost a lot of money, there's a lot of pressure to play you. And that's partly the problem, you know. But I'm going to need goals from out wide. I know Pulisic can give me goals. I know, you know, he can crash the box. He can make those runs in behind the defensive line and finish if confident. Hudson-Odoi, even when confident, has never shown that at this level he will finish consistently in front of goal. His chance creation for me is very good. He's a very good switcher of play. You know, he's someone that does need to start committing more defenders, but he's always had, for me, good decision making in the final third in terms of his pass. You know, his underlying attacking metrics are strong. However, the shooting is not strong enough. You're not taking people on as aggressively as you used to before the injury. Go out on loan, maybe get your confidence up. Stop being this utility player at Chelsea where you play right wing back, right wing, left wing back. I want to see him playing in the forward line, left wing preferably, but I want to see him playing consistently. And like I said, I'm not a hoarder of talent. This is not Channel 4. If you're Cobham and you're not, you know, and you're conflicted, then take a look outside and see what you can get and bring it back in. Do you know what I mean? We love that. Look at Tomori, look at Abraham, look at the trophies they're winning. I'm happy for them. Let's see that for Callum. It's his first loan. Let's see that. Most Cobham, you know, stars have to go out on loan, get that experience. You know, it's just different. It helps. It's part of your development. And if it isn't working here, you know, I don't want to just keep persisting, making him a utility player for our own selfish needs of depth. So for me personally, that's kind of the order I would do things in, and get yourself that starting left winger, whoever it may be. Dembélé looks like he'll come in on that right hand side when he's signed. And obviously, like I said, with Ziyech, if we're going to get, you know, Ziyech, for me, he'll end up being a squad player. You know, I think he's that type of player as well. I don't know if you want to give him the keys, so to speak. Like I said, I've always questioned, can he be consistent? But he has had some struggles with injuries. Every time he hits form, he does get a knock, which is, again, another issue fitness-wise that worries me about this attack. But he is another touchline winger like Hudson-Odoi who wants to get his chalk on his boots and be out wide and then come inside. So if we are going to get the best out of all three of these players that we currently have, regardless if they stay, leave or go out on loan, if they're here, we have to have wingers. And that's why I've been talking and thinking about that 4-3-3 a lot more now that these centre-backs are going. There's potentially a shift going on with the balance of the team in terms of numerical, you know, positionally, how many players we have in each position. If there's a lot of centre-backs dropping off, maybe we can make that defence a little bit smaller in terms of numbers. But I move on, you know. Dembélé looks like it's happening, and it's happening quickly and soon, hopefully official, and then we see where we go from there. And then, of course, Pulisic, like I said, for me, I don't think he'll go to Liverpool. I just believe that, first of all, it's an in-league move. We're going to need a lot of money, an extra tax on top for the fact that you are Liverpool, of course, and because we know that you probably can get something great out of him, you know. And we ain't trying to really see that. And like I said, I still believe this player has something to give, but we do have to make a few changes, and he also, of course, needs to stay consistently fit throughout the whole of the season and try and nail down that place. But you let me know what you think in the comments down below. Smash up the icons, and yeah, for me at the moment, like I said, if it's 4-3-3 and we do get rid of the striker, I'm personally gravitating towards, you know, having Pulisic in the team because I know he can get those goals from out wide. We need other contributors. If we're keeping Lukaku, which I hope we don't, but if we do, then potentially you could say that maybe the need for Pulisic is a little bit less and you maybe stick with a Hudson-Odoi and get a new winger out there. I don't know. But you let me know what you think in the comments down below. Smash up the icons and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.